Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So as you guys know, I've been continuing on with this series of what makes you happy. So we are, how many videos in? I don't know. I think this is like the third or fourth episode in. Anyways, so we're back in the series what makes you happy. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about relationships. This is a very, very big thing as far as your happiness goes, because whether you believe it or not, we're kind of a communal society. And I know for us that are introverts, like this is a very, very difficult thing to kind of like wrap our heads around, like, wait, I need people. People need me. We need each other. Like that's a very, very difficult concept for us because we kind of just like to do our own thing, be on our own, and like that's it, like call it a day. So the first one I want to talk about is friends. I mean, honestly, sit there and think about the friends that you have and that you kind of hang out with on a semi-regular basis. What kind of company do you keep? You are a product of your environment. So if the people that you hang out with are just kind of like lazy, they're not really doing anything with their lives, they're just kind of like letting life take them wherever and being okay with that, then I mean, eventually that's what you will become as well. You will kind of click into that lifestyle and just start being really frustrated with life. Like, where am I? What am I doing? I had so many goals and ambitions and those didn't get done because you're constantly hanging out with people that aren't really doing anything. Also, there's this whole thing about like true friends. I remember kind of growing up always having like my one or two, you know, really, really close friends. And I remember like my mom is not that kind of person where she tells me like who to be friends with or what to think about certain people. It was just kind of like, okay, well, the environment that I have in my house, if my kids bring their friends over, that's the environment that's gonna stay. And I mean, part of that is spiritual and part of that is just, you know, keeping a clean home, you know, always making sure that it's a nice peaceful environment, not letting craziness happen and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so I remember I was in my early 20s one day and I had a friend come over. And during that time, I think my ex-boyfriend at the time had come over and was gonna drop something off for me. And like my friend just started acting like she was acting kind of weird. And I remember at one point my mom being like, I don't think she's really your friend. And I remember that just kind of sat with me because my mom has never like been that kind of person to tell me like who to be friends with or really even comment. And I just really started evaluating my friendships and realizing, you know, certain people, even if you look up to them, they could be envious of you just because of something that you're doing in your life, how you carry yourself, what you're doing in your life, and people will take advantage of that. So when you think about friendships, you have to think about different things like, okay, are they constantly gossiping about other friends in your circle and you think that you're the only one not being gossiped about? So, I mean, really think about that. Like, if this person is constantly got something to say about everybody and anybody all the time, this isn't somebody that you necessarily want to be your friend. This is somebody that you maybe have as an acquaintance or somebody that you might hang out with every once in a while. But, you know, think about distance. Think about keeping your distance because some of these people are not out here for you. They're just looking for somebody to kind of turn up with, somebody that they could just, you know, talk crap about and with, and that's kind of their extent of their friendship. There's nothing really deeper there. Also, are they just extra? I've had friends where it's just like, no matter where you go or what you do, there's always situations going on with them. There's always drama. There's always some this, that, and the third. And one thing that I learned about myself is, for me, I was always kind of like, you know, shy and kind of like reserved. I kind of like kept my business to myself. I didn't really allow myself to get wrapped up in a whole lot of drama because I didn't hang out with a lot of people. And so when I started hanging out with these particular friends, I noticed my behavior starting to change and I started acting a little bit more loose, a little more careless and reckless, and just getting myself wrapped into these dramatic webs of just crap that I didn't want to deal with. And at the end of the night, it was something that kind of ate at me and broke me down because that wasn't the life that I was meant to live. That wasn't the person that I was supposed to be. And it bothered me, so I eventually had to just like stop communicating with that friend and really, you know, sever those ties because I was allowing myself to get caught up in stuff that I didn't want to be in. Also, complaining. Do you have friends that complain all the time and about every single little thing? And every time somebody else gets something and they don't, they're upset or they're whining or they're irritated about it. I had friends like this as well. And you know what? I became a complainer. I became somebody who nitpicked at every single little thing and had this kind of like, woe is me mentality. I didn't want to be that way. So I had to kind of distance myself from those people. And I mean, if they're your friends, you could totally have conversations with them and say, hey, you know, you've been complaining a lot, or you've been whatever. And if you guys are really that close and really friends, you guys should be able to talk to each other about that kind of stuff and, you know, resolve it. So I think friends is a very, very important category with keeping you happy, keeping you nice and healthy, and keeping you the person that you actually want to be. All right, 2 is family. Some family members should be closer to you than others. It's okay to have a little bit of distance. You could love somebody from afar. That is totally okay. One thing that I had to look at with family was who respects your lifestyle. Who is gonna sit there and say, you know, hey, I love you no matter what you do. There's certain family members that wanted you to be a doctor, a lawyer, psychiatrist, whatever it may be, and that's not you. Maybe you're an artistic person, maybe you're very, very creative, maybe you want to be a teacher. The people that respect that lifestyle and support you in that are the ones that are really, really care about you, and the ones that I feel like should be closer to you. For me, this was always kind of like a difficult thing, just because, especially when you get married, like your family has preconceived notions about you and their family has preconceived notions about you as well. And just trying to balance those things out and keep those things kind of balanced and even is very, very difficult. Also, who encourages you to be better? Who is constantly on you saying like, hey, I support you. I see that you're doing this, this, and this. Like, keep going with it. Like, who's there with you every single step of the way and really making sure that you get stuff done? I mean, that's another very, very difficult thing to do with family as well, because I mean, certain family members, even like siblings or cousins or whatever, could kind of feel a certain way when you start to succeed and when you start to accomplish things in life, and it can be very, very difficult if they're very close to you. So as far as being happy, the company you keep also includes family. Think about that as well. Okay, and number 3, I know you're like, well, what else could there be? Like boyfriends? You. That's a very, very important thing, is you. What relationship do you have with yourself? This part was like really, really important for me. As an introverted person, I'm very reflective. I love to really sit with my thoughts and really process them and try to figure out, where's this coming from? How does this affect me? Why am I doing this? Why did I react a certain way? That's a very, very good way to be able to look at yourself and really see, like, am I the person that makes me happy? Because if you're not happy with yourself, it's going to be difficult for you to be happy with other people and other types of relationships, and then even like marriages or dating or all that kind of stuff. So are you critical of yourself? Are you trying to change yourself? This was a hard thing for me. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little personal. Before I got married, I was in a lot of bad relationships. And a lot of these relationships included me trying to become somebody that I wasn't, to be what this person needed. I know in relationships, like, that's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a normal thing, but I feel like it's kind of becoming a norm where women, we feel that we need to change. We feel like we need a bigger booty or a, you know, bigger breasts, or, you know, a weave down our back, or all these different things, or, you know, have our makeup beat like, you know, Kim Kardashian, and, you know, all this other stuff. And so we end up developing these insecurities and kind of becoming something that we don't want to be. I mean, there was so many times where I found myself, you know, dressed a certain way and with a certain type of makeup on and doing this and that and trying to pretend like I was cool with certain things that I wasn't okay with. And it ate away at me. I didn't want to be that kind of person. I didn't want to be in that sort of environment or that kind of lifestyle with somebody that I was in a relationship with. So that was something that I had to, you know, work on and say, hey, is this something that I really want? Is this relationship really worth it? Is it worth me giving up who I am and what I want to do? And the answer is no. You have to be good to yourself. You have to be good to yourself first. You have to take care of yourself, because, you know, friends move and go away, family members pass away, you know, relationships break up, or, you know, whatever. The only person that you are ever truly with 100% of the time is you. And if you don't like you, life is going to be miserable. So I really encourage you to just really do that. Be reflective. Look at yourself and say, am I happy? Am I happy with myself? Am I happy with the accomplishments that I have? Am I happy with the way that I've been pushing myself to achieve X, Y, Z? You know, love yourself, be you, accept who you are, and grow and develop that in a positive way. So thank you guys for watching. I have some more videos coming up for you guys. I'm planning on doing maybe 2 videos a week from now going forward, maybe to the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Yeah.